This week on NSFW, Terry's hands are at home and Graphite Duke joins the show. Eagle joins in his production capacity. On today's show, we talk about Tom Brady and Draymond Green's apologies. We also discuss the Padres and their chances in the MLB playoffs and Dan Snyder's accusations about ESPN's journalistic choices. We'll also talk about the college football program that needs additional finances above and beyond tuition. We'll get into this and much more on this episode of Not Sauce for Work on the Hot Sauce Sports Podcast Network. Welcome everyone, I am Pease Nelarise. If you're listening to my voice or hearing my voice or watching my voice, you'll know you've joined the show. In studio with me, as I mentioned, is Duke. How's it going, buddy?
Hey, I'm unmuted. Fuck. Did you unmute me?
Yeah, it's a cold open.
I don't like it when I'm muted, boy.
I don't like it when you talk when you're supposed to be muted.
I almost had to miss the show today, and I was curious to see what Duke's cold open was.
Oh, my God. It would be amazing. I would just be complaining about Subway. I already have a rant prepped for it. Yeah. Can I just go quick about it?
No, it's coming later.
Okay, it's coming later. Okay.
It's on the show, I promise.
I just saw it, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I also will give you the opportunity to rant about the bet that you placed. What?
The Raiders.
No.
You guys are tired of me talking about the Raiders.
No, you're not. We're not doing that show again.
Okay.
Terry tried to get him off the Raiders for 42 minutes.
You just can't.
No, we're gonna get you to rant about my Dolphins because you lost the bet a couple weeks ago and you haven't paid that bet back. I have a bet to pay off against John that nobody knew about, but I'm gonna do it anyway because I said I would. And hopefully we can clip that for socials. So remember, if you like what we do, please do subscribe. Do catch the show when you can. Do rate, do review, do all that great stuff. But where I want to start today, Duke.
Tell me.
I have such weird feelings about all of this.
About what?
And I know you have some pretty strong thoughts as well.
Tell Uncle Duke.
Where are we at with Kanye?
Right. Oh, we're going to go with that. Wow.
Yeah, he now thinks my life matters more than his.
I mean, listen.
I know, man.
Dude's off his meds, says crazy shit. And you know what, honestly, the fact that we just give him a platform to speak all the time,
So I actually have a pseudo conspiracy theory around this.
I love
when he was dating Kim K and everything, that whole stuff, I get a feeling the Kardashian empire was keeping this on the down low, right? And none of it went out. And now that shield is no longer
they were
there,
absolutely
doing it because he made multiple Hitler comments, and he made a Hitler comment at TMZ, which TMZ did not leak. I mean, and for TMZ to not leak a comment like that, it means that somebody paid them a hefty sum of money to make sure that never saw the light of day.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're asking me what I think about it? Listen.
Well, let's talk a little bit about let's just set it up like what it is that's going on for anyone who's
he was on Noriega's podcast and said a lot of crazy shit. Right?
He bought
Parler.
What?
He bought Parler.
He bought Parler.
He bought a right-wing social media network.
He was recently seen with Candace Owens wearing a White Lives Matter T-shirt.
Right.
Not realizing he's being used as a political tool. Like it almost feels like abuse.
Look, it's because we're in I blame him, of course, but I also look at these media entities that look at this as a great payday. You know, he did say some pretty terrible things on LeBron's podcast, which they did not release. And I thought that was a smart move because they were looking at it like, look, we're not going to allow hate speech, even if it's going to give us a ton of views. So we're not going to do that.
And here's the thing. I was thinking about this recently. You often hear people complaining about the media, complaining about censorship.
All the time.
And, I feel like people don't know what censorship means. Mm-hmm. So, for example.
Well, here's an example.
To the survivors' will to rebuild and remain in the area. The destruction of the spirit of the people of southern Louisiana and Mississippi may end up being the most tragic loss of all.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
Please call.
We've gone from that to today's Kanye.
Yeah. Go for it.
That wasn't censored, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Which that was clearly live, by the way. But
no 7-second delay.
Or not enough delay.
But you can't censor a guy like that because he's going to find a platform where he can get his voice out.
But here's the thing. Not airing someone on your own show
it's not
not censorship.
No.
You're free to say whatever you want, but also, for example, Facebook, Twitter, all these places that are content organizers or even LeBron's show or whatever, or ESPN, they're free to air it or not air it.
Of course. And they do it all the time.
Yeah, because it's their choice. It's their company. The next thing is, or removing people from your platform. That's not censorship. That's just not being invited to a party, bro. Exactly. Happens, man. Like maybe next time, don't take a piss on the floor and you'll get invited to the party. The other thing is, you can say whatever you want. It doesn't mean there's no consequences.
There's always going to be consequence to what you say. Absolutely.
Freedom of speech does not mean freedom from consequence. It just means you can't be in prison for what you say. That's all it means.
I just think that I think back to what Kanye was like before his mom was alive, and there was a little bit of balance in his life. And I think about this all the time, like about those interviews that I used to see, or whenever I'd see him talking in those days, I felt like this was before the Kardashians. This was in a time when his music also resonated a little bit more with everybody instead of it being just gospel music, and also him not saying these crazy things about Hitler. And I think that there's something that happened in his life that when he lost his mother, there's something that twisted that turned him into something different.
He was never okay.
No, he definitely never was. But I always felt like he was a bit more balanced in his opinions back then.
With family,
he could have also been on his meds.
I think maybe with certain people in his life, they were able to keep an eye on the medication and make sure he was okay. But another thing, though,
but why are we shocked?
I'm not shocked, but
like this guy was in the Oval Office wearing a MAGA cap in front of Trump, and then we're surprised he's wearing a White Lives Matters t-shirt. I mean, come on.
I'm not surprised.
It was the next step.
But my question is, the thing I think that I find weird and no one's put together is, it's so Eagle. Can you just fact check that Pete Davidson is Jewish? I'm fairly certain he's Jewish.
Yeah, let me check.
Is the anti-Semitic thing an anti-Pete Davidson thing that's just conflated?
I don't think it's an. I don't.
Because
think that's
that was from 4 years ago too. That he said
exactly because it's an opinion that he's held about the industry, and he's held this. He's held
industry
this
where he's made a lot of money.
He's held this opinion, and a lot of rap artists have the same opinion about the music industry and also the rap industry itself.
But so a lot of them are struggling rappers.
Davidson's father was predominantly of Jewish ancestry, but he was raised Catholic himself.
Okay. Doesn't matter to Kanye if he sees that you're Jewish, you're the enemy. It's just that it's sad that it's devolved to this. I feel like you can have a productive conversation about. About not feeling like you're getting your due, that you're not feeling like you're getting your voice out.
The dude from TMZ who tried, Van Lathan.
Van Lathan.
He tried and then lost his mind because trying to have a conversation with Kanye is really difficult.
And honestly, that conversation with Van Lathan, I didn't look at it like him trying to educate Kanye. I think it was him telling him, hey, there's consequences to what you say, and when you say crazy shit that doesn't align with the rest of us, you're putting us in a disadvantageous situation, because wearing a White Lives Matter t-shirt it's ridiculous because there's a connotation to that. Yeah. Of course, there's a connotation to wearing a Black Lives Matter t-shirt too, but I've always looked at people that wear a White Lives Matter t-shirt or a hat or whatever, or that they stand for that. I've always felt like it's kind of a way to say, no, we're also oppressed, which I think is insane to say that. And we are not as white men oppressed at all. And
life's pretty awesome.
I'm sure a lot of people will argue with me. I've had those arguments as well. But we are not oppressed. We've never once had to deal with like for example, last month I got out of a pretty bad speeding ticket. Okay, and I was thinking to myself, what if I was black? Yeah, or what if I was Hispanic? What if I was Chinese?
But so John Amici, former NBA player, put it on his Instagram. He posted on his Instagram a while ago, and it was I thought one of the most introspective views of this that I ever heard. To me, that I don't even think this can be disputed. And what he was talking about privilege. He says that that word bothers a lot of people, right? And he's like, what you need to understand is privilege doesn't mean that your life isn't difficult. It just means it's not made difficult because of your race, your sexual orientation. That the reasons it's difficult are different than the reasons I'm experiencing.
The problem is that these words have been weaponized. Yeah. And what happens...
Well, we talked about that this weekend, right?
Right. They become weaponized because they're no longer attributed to the actual meaning of what it means. That they're co-opted by people like Tucker Carlson that don't actually say anything important but ask a lot of really shitty questions. Yeah. Say, are we really not oppressed in this society? And then he'll ask an open-ended question to his audience so that his audience...
A leading open-ended question.
That just finished watching NASCAR and has got a Miller Lite in their hands and the concert. Goddamn,
listen, first of all, I love Miller Lite, and NASCAR's awesome. So,
goddamn, boy, we're a press. You know, like that's just I don't know. And look, going back to Kanye, I know that he does have a good. I don't know if he has a good heart, but I feel like he's got a good heart. Dude still makes great music.
Well, since Life of Pablo,
some good tracks.
I was in the minority. It was like Life of Pablo's all right.
Yeah,
I thought it was okay.
There's some good stuff, but
man, it's a lot of misses, and I loved Kanye. And I was gonna make a joke, but I forgot it.
Well, what do you think about your joke? My main thing is that, like, in terms of the music and the art, it's always subjective. That some people will like it, some people won't. But in terms of where he's at right now, I think that this is just kind of I feel whenever I look at Kanye's life, there's like different eras to him. There's times when he was a loving father. There's times when he came out with his statements about George Bush. There's times when he was, in the Oval Office with the MAGA cap. I just think that there's going to be a turning point in his career, in his life, where he's going to start looking at it and saying that, man, maybe I made some mistakes in terms of things I said, and it's all going to come down to maybe the opinions that he's getting, the people he's surrounding are not helping his point of view and not helping his mental psychology. Because the fact that he still hangs out with AB, that AB is around him 24/7, that worries me. Because that there's no good opinion coming out of that soul.
The way he doxed Travis Barker today kind of felt like AB's.
It wasn't actually Kanye, by the way.
That wasn't?
No.
Okay.
It's someone pretending to be Kanye. Hold
on.
on.
Okay.
But it's almost like it's cool to be part of his entourage. It's cool to be part of that.
But the way he's throwing, like he recently threw like P. Diddy under the bus.
It was King Stacy that did that.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's constantly throwing people on the bus from his past.
Absolutely.
And it made me feel the way AB threw Tom Brady under the bus. And it sucks because, again, we used to love Kanye, but all we're left with is heartbreak and 808s.
There you go.
Eagle, it's time for the news. Terry, it's the news.
Hi, I'm Terry. I like the Mets. I'm fucking stupid. Fucking love the Mets.
Is it though? Are the Giants good?
Are we talking about the San Francisco Giants? No, I'm just kidding.
New York Giants, the New York Football Giants.
Awesome. Yeah, man. I think that they're super well coached. Like, I mean, listen, you and I have watched a lot of Giants football in our past because our dad is a huge. It's the same reason why I'm stuck watching your fucking Dolphins and you're stuck watching my dumbass Raiders.
Yeah.
But watching
triangle of death.
But I will say there's something about the Giants this year. Like, they're really well coached. Like, they're actually using Danny Jones in a way that works well.
They're also using him in a way that's going to murder him.
Right. Okay, that's fine.
They're clearly not signing him for a future deal.
But I feel like if I'm Danny Jones, if I'm Danny Dimes,
no one's ever called him Danny Jones.
No,
it's the first podcast exclusive here. Danny Jones,
rapper. If I'm Danny Jones, sure.
We gotta find someone named Danny Jones and interview him next week, Eagle. Anybody named Danny Jones.
I'd rather have one really terrible season where I'm getting smashed a million times, and do really well and make the playoffs, and have whatever the hell he was doing the last few seasons. Because the last few seasons, I feel like his coaching staff was like, you have to be a pocket passer. You have to. We're going to run these routes, period. Whereas now I feel like, and it helps that Saquon's back, by the way. That's
and healthy.
Huge thing.
Even when Saquon was playing last year, he clearly wasn't healthy because, my God.
Yeah, but the thing, too, is this is proof that having a really good defense in NFL, it really solves a lot of problems, especially with your offense. If you have a terrible defense, you're always chasing, and then you always have to have that quarterback that's super accurate, that has to make all of these deep, medium, and intermediate and short throws. Whereas with Danny Jones, I feel like
that's his name from now on. Is Danny Jones?
Like it's an offense that obviously doesn't score too much, but their defense doesn't allow too much, and I just think that they're in a really good spot, and they have a pretty favorable season schedule.
So they've played so far. They're 5-1.
Yeah.
They beat the Titans by 1 point. They beat the Panthers by 3 points. They lost to the Cowboys by 7. They beat the Bears by 8.
Yeah.
They beat the Packers by 5. They beat the Ravens by 4, and they haven't scored more than 27 points in that entire period of time.
For sure. But they also don't make many mistakes. Like, I haven't really seen them fumble a lot this year, which he had a ton of problems with. He's not fumbling, not throwing interceptions. The defense is making plays as well, and also
the defense got really good too.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
Adoree Jackson became a guy that nobody throws at now. Like that's
yeah.
like if you look at like the PFF standings, he's one of the highest rated corners.
Absolutely.
And like he's been great. But Eagle, what I love about this inside joke is I was scrolling through Instagram and there was some show advertising. It's like huge important topic today. Are the Giants good? Nice. And I was like, this is us low-key making fun of the sports industry, sports media industry. So
I was surprised to see it on the menu.
Yeah. No, we start every show with, is random team good? Because here's the thing. We don't fucking know. We never know. The reason why it's on all these debate shows is because nobody knows what we're watching.
I mean, listen, the Jets are 4-2 this year, so no one knows anything.
Do you think they're good?
I think they're okay. I think they're okay.
I think they have.
I don't think they're good.
I think they have some fun skill position guys, but I don't think they're a fundamentally good team.
Yeah, no, I cannot make any. I can't make any assumption on that team because from what I've seen, they've done a good job. But again, they don't have that many skills.
Half of those wins came with Joe Flacco at quarterback.
They do say. I will say though that they have drafted so well.
They did absolutely.
The Jets have really. It's something I'm jealous of because. My team, I'm not going to go on a rant, I promise, but my team does a horrendous job of drafting every year.
Hunter Renfrow looks nice, though.
But like that's like out of that draft class, he was the only one that's still on the team.
Yeah.
Everyone else is gone. Like we're still holding. Anyway.
I tried to bait you.
I'm trying.
For a second, Eagle, I thought I was the master baiter, the baiter who does it masterfully. But yeah, so... I don't know. I just can't make heads or tails of who's good, who's not. This season feels particularly weird that way.
Yeah.
When like the Jets have the same amount of combined wins as Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, it's a weird season.
I'm telling you, man. Like not having Devontae Adams is a huge deal for Rodgers. Like it really is. And honestly, like I don't even think the Packers are that bad. I think they'll be fine.
No. He doesn't have anyone to throw the ball to, and he's pretending that Alan Lazard is fucking Devontae Adams, and he's not.
Who's a guy that is with the Bills that they had last year? It wasn't Lazard. It was
no, Valdez-Scantling's with Kansas.
No, him, yes, but there was that other dude with a weird name.
That's all.
I'll look it up.
All Packers receivers,
but it was
weird names. Romeo Doubs,
but he's like a fourth-string receiver for the Bills, and he looks awesome.
Jake Kumaro.
Yeah, Kumaro.
He doesn't look awesome. He's played one game because everyone was hurt.
He caught like a huge pass, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, I know. I had him on DraftKings that night.
Rodgers could use this guy. But just NFL's weird, man. Yeah. People don't realize that we always overreact. We're always like, this team is trash, this team is good. But the fact is, it's fucking hard to win an NFL game, even if you're playing against the Lions this year or you're playing against the Bears. Like, it's tough, man. You can't make mistakes. Like, the worst team in the NFL has some of the greatest athletes in the known world.
Yeah.
Like, some of these people, if you saw them in person, they might be playing for a team that hasn't won a game yet. You look at them, you're like, are you a god? Are you Adonis or something? Like, I don't even know who Adonis is. I've heard that expression before.
Oh, it's a guy named Adonis, but there's several of them. So are you Adonis? Yeah. Are you one of the Donai?
My point is just it's really hard. It's really hard to win games in the NFL. I mean, and it's just it's a short season, so we'll see how it goes.
Well, Tom Brady's having a tough time. We saw him yelling at players.
Yeah. And
he's catching L's everywhere, including making a military comparison to playing in the NFL.
So before we get to that, why was it such a fucking problem that he yelled at he's been yelling at his linemen forever?
It's people that just have they not been watching Tom Brady? Like he always yells at guys. Like that's his thing. That's his version of leadership. It's fine. So did Michael Jordan, by the way. Like. Some people, that's just the way that they display their leadership, right? Like, and people listen to them because they respect who they are.
Yeah.
You know, Geno Smith's ways is a friendly guy, for example. Yeah. You know, Jameis Winston licks his fingers. You know,
yes.
different types of leadership for different people.
And also, he's no longer allowed to smash those Surface tablets, right? Because they got a warning from the league and everything. So now he takes it on people.
Because he's been really targeting them, man, like hard.
Well, I think Microsoft is worried because at some point, Apple is going to showcase how durable it is compared to a smashed Surface tablet. Look at the iPad; it's never been smashed by Tom Brady.
Okay. So going to the military comments, another thing, I really have no idea how it's offensive to people. He's basically just equating the NFL to being ready for the military.
Well,
which
it's
in a
it's
way
more
kind
like
of
you're
is.
so focused, you're in a particular like mentality and everything. You're away from your family, I guess in his case too. Like,
what were people
haven't we
saying?
made? But hasn't there been like football comparisons to war since the dawn of time? Like it's the
literally
war that's
every
war in the
week.
trenches.
Yeah,
Like,
and they have a whole month dedicated to celebrating the military. So yeah, it's kind of built into the culture.
and they take millions of dollars from the military to allow those flyovers.
And they draft people into their league.
Yeah, they're that too.
But I mean, there's a lot of similarities to the way that you prepare for an NFL game that you prepare for war. I mean, obviously, it's not the same. I'm not saying it's the
But
same.
you know what
but
it
can't
is?
we just have some fucking nuance in our conversations where you just don't get offended? Like, people get offended when they hear something like that, and you're like, "What? You're trying to tell me that football's the same as the military?" No, he's
But
not
it's the same
saying
dude.
that.
It's the same dude who's like, if I like cross you over on a basketball court, and I'm like, yo, I put that AI on you, and you're like, well, excuse me, you think you're as good as Allen Iverson? No, I obviously don't think I'm as good as Allen Iverson. Or like if we're talking about football, like it's like when I'm playing Madden and I see this read. And I throw there, and I didn't see the defender. Like, you're saying you're as good? No,
Yeah.
I'm saying there's two situations in which I can relate to based on this.
And you know what? I blame Twitter for this because people think that, and people aggregate tweets into articles and they call themselves journalists and they're not. They basically take a couple of tweets and then they write an article saying people are mad about what Tom Brady said. Meanwhile, I was like 7 people on Twitter that nobody knows.
And like we talked about, Twitter pretends to be, it's great at feeling like it's the majority of people when it's really the vast minority.
Absolutely.
But we'll talk more about the media component because in the next topic, because it's more related to that. But I feel like there's this weird sensitivity to the military that didn't used to exist, right? Like there was.
Well, in the 70s,
there-
they hated them.
But no, but that's what I'm saying. Like there was huge protests for the war in Vietnam, right? But like now, like a quarterback talking about you on a podcast or someone kneeling makes you whimper and cry, and like, come on, like what are we doing here? What are we doing
Again, I'm gonna just say it again. The majority of people heard what he said and are like, okay, it makes sense. Yeah, military,
by the way,
discipline and all that. Make your bed.
I was super busy, but I had seen the tweet.
Yeah.
I seen a tweet about it, but
yeah.
like it was not negative. It was just like Tom Brady makes some comparisons, whatever.
Right.
Like it was just like literally the byline.
Yeah.
And I was gonna send it to the group and be like, apology incoming, but I just didn't have time.
Nah,
and then
right,
the
right,
next
right,
time
right.
I got to my phone, it was like the Tom Brady
Of
apologizes.
course. I just don't apologize for what people think on Twitter. Don't do it. Unless you said something really bad, really offensive, that's fine. Just don't start apologizing for the smallest
The worst
thing.
part is when people do things that are actually horrible, like for example when Brett Favre steals money from welfare.
Yeah.
He says instead, fake news. The media is trying to.
Well, he's also criminally liable, which is different from what.
No,
Tom
but
Brady's
I get
situation.
it. I get it.
No comment is better than
No
gaslighting
comment is
everyone.
better than but anybody like even like when Aaron Rodgers had his thing. Well, okay, that's not necessarily horrible. I'm saying like, okay, but you lied, right? Like,
Right.
And you lied and you broke the work policy in your workplace.
Yeah.
And you got away with it, and there was never a punishment.
Yeah.
And people called you out for it. Just say you're sorry.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like that's an appropriate time for an apology, right? And like Brady, if you feel like, here's another thing. This is something that may have actually happened though with Brady is, let's say someone from the military reaches out and says, like, you know what, this actually kind of makes me uncomfortable. I can imagine.
okay.
He'd be like, fine. You know what? You're right. I didn't mean it that way.
Oh, please. One of his friends. Can you please retract what you said?
I didn't say it wasn't soft. I didn't say it wasn't soft.
I'm a grizzled veteran, and I fought in Afghanistan. And when you say it's like the NFL, I feel offended.
It does feel like those are the least ones to be offended.
Yeah.
You're talking to the wrong military people here, right? Like Tom Brady has had more action in terms of injuries against his body than the majority of the U.S. military. Let's be real, right?
He's literally
the people
dodging
bitching and
bullets.
complaining are sitting on a base sipping mojitos during the day.
Guy, he has to face Aaron Donald every goddamn year. He's a soldier. And if people are offended by it, get a fucking life.
Definitely.
It's Twitter. No one cares what you say on Twitter. Your opinion doesn't matter. You mean nothing.
And honestly, like, you bring up a good point, because one thing we learned recently is Aaron Donald far more effective than the Russian military.
Yeah.
So when I want to get into the media component, and I guess this is really,
by the way, Aaron Donald in Madden, unstoppable. Whenever I play the Rams, I just run away from him like all game. It's
at all times, at all times. It reminds me of there was a game the Dolphins played against him into his first year.
Yeah.
Where they literally had 4 people blocking just Aaron Donald.
You have to.
Yeah.
That's one thing at least Madden gets right. They truly simulate the Aaron Donald experience, where offensive coordinators will literally call plays away from him.
Yeah, they do. They do, absolutely.
Just can't go that way. Can't be done. So Dan Snyder attacks ESPN for false claims. And so what I love is that when I saw the tweet, it came up with your response.
Yeah.
It was just like, I don't believe you.
Yeah. I don't believe you.
But under that was so many people defending someone who generally we all consider despicable. And there's a weird thing going on where a lot of angry people on the internet are defending billionaires for not getting a fair shake. I don't think they understand how the justice system works.
Goddamn cancel culture! They took away my Redskins.
So, but
your commander
is cancellation the same thing as getting billions of dollars for being forced to sell your team? Like, he comes like Donald Sterling got $2 billion for being super racist, right? Like,
yeah.
If any of us would have done half the things he did in the workplace, same with Daniel Snyder, or Robert Sarver, for example, like this isn't. First of all, these reports are hugely vetted, and they're behaving in ways that are not acceptable in a workplace, right? Like that's
true.
You can own the team. You don't own the people that work for the team.
Right.
But if we look at it from a different perspective,
What's perspective? Let's defend the
look at this
serial
from
sexual
the
harasser.
Free market capitalist perspective.
There's
just
my
for
boy.
a second here, okay? And I don't want to do this, but I'm gonna play devil's advocate just for the purposes of this conversation.
Fucking love doing that.
Did Dan Snyder do anything explicitly illegal?
I mean, depending on which allegation.
But can you prove that he himself orchestrated a crime that would require?
Well,
I don't have to prove it. I'm not the many lawyers deposing
How
it.
about
Right.
this?
But
I know
but
something.
for example, when he tried to have cheerleaders solicited for sex, that is illegal.
Yes, but was that directly through him? Was it? Can they prove that it went to him or not?
Again, I haven't read the legal filing, so I don't know.
So work through my logic here. So if he hasn't done anything, or if you can't prove he's done anything actually illegal, all you can do is say that is a shit company I don't want to work for. In the same way you don't want to work for McDonald's, the same way you don't want to work for Walmart, the same way you don't want to work for.
You're actually factually wrong about what you're saying. But I'll let Duke speak first, and then I'm going to hammer you for not understanding how the world works.
No, I understand how the world works.
I don't think you do, because you're wrong about the workplace. Because being a billionaire in America is not free market capitalism. It's actually socialism, and I'll get to that in a second.
I know, but besides the point. But
so he was accused of sexual misconduct in 2009. The lady has come out and has proof of this. However, if we want to talk about criminal, that goddamn field. That goddamn grass, that fence that fell last year. Remember that? That almost
why is
took
he
out
not
Jalen
criminally
Hurts.
liable for that?
The best quarterback in the NFL this
He's not
year,
the best quarterback.
arguable. But
He's
to
Tua's
me-
backup. He was Tua's backup.
To me,
Tua's backup, right? He
yeah.
was number Tua in the Alabama offense.
Well, no, he ended up playing for Clemson after.
No, it was Oklahoma, but
Oklahoma. My bad.
Why did he transfer? Because who won the job? It was Tua. My mistake.
Right. So
Tua was Una.
Right. So
Tua was Una.
last season, Jalen Hurts almost like a superstar in the league almost literally got taken out by a fence that wasn't screwed in properly. The field has been a constant issue with NFL players for decades because they're saying this is a horrible field. There's so many injuries on it, and I love grass fields. I find it's nice, but it's just not upkept well, and they're cheap about everything.
Yeah.
But the main issue with Dan Snyder, and the main reason why they're trying to get him to sell the team, is specifically stadium based because he's not
driving down the value of all the
driving down the value
exactly,
and he's not able to secure a stadium deal,
Yeah.
and that's the most important thing. The NFL
So
owners
then get together as a union of the owners and everything.
There's no
and
union of owners.
Well,
They're
no,
just
there
union.
is.
He means union as a collection of people.
A collection.
And just literally put it to a vote of there's no more games that are going to be played directly in Washington. They lose their home field advantage.
that's-
Put it to a vote, 31-1. You win. No more games.
And then
But
then he
also,
puts out dirt.
Eagle,
Then he
first
puts the
of all,
dirt out.
There's so many mistakes
Of
in
course.
everything you're saying. First of all, it's not free market capitalism if there's a salary cap. That's literally communism when you're controlling the wealth of others. Secondly, when it comes to Dan Snyder, he doesn't need to lose a vote 31-1. And the vote wouldn't be about playing games in Washington. It would be about the ownership of the team, because all they need is a 2/3 majority to remove him as the owners, as stipulated in the ownership agreements in the NFL.
But
so why are they just doing that?
They are doing. They're trying to collect. Because here's the thing: is owners don't like the idea that a team can be taken from them or a sale can be forced, because they like the power of being an owner, even though they'll make well above their investment. It's that they love being in the cool rooms as being, I own the Washington Commanders, although it's the less cool rooms than owning the Cowboys, for
Yeah,
example.
but he also can't go in those rooms because he might get arrested.
But there's that too. but that's the thing is, they're trying to get, believe me, the owners that want him out want 24 other owners to be like, let's go.
And also this report that came out which he has since denied, which I don't believe for a single second, that he came out and there's a source that said that he has dirt on these owners. My point of view about it is this. Jerry Jones had an illegitimate child who came out and accused him of it. Terrible press. What happened? Absolutely nothing. Because nobody cares, because the next day
he built a giant stadium.
Yeah, and also because the next day there was a Cowboys game, and that's all that people talked about was how Dak Prescott performed. So at the end of the day, negative press, unless something is really, really awful, he seems to have some dirt on these owners.
I don't think anybody, if you're thinking any of these owners are decent people, you don't understand how billionaires get their money. Secondly, with regards to Dan Snyder, like, they're not trying to run off every owner.
Mm-hmm.
Sarver, Donald Sterling, and Dan Snyder are amongst the worst owners. Not just who they are as people,
But the
because,
way
again,
they
I don't think
run,
these
but the
people-
way they run,
but the way
that
they run their
franchise.
businesses are terrible,
Right.
and are harmful to the organization, which is not the individual team.
Mm-hmm.
It is the NFL, which is composed of all 32 teams.
Absolutely, and it's horrendous because you can tell with the quality of the football that you see on the field from them. It's so bad that even fans are not even going to these games. So
I love that on Thursday Night Football they're constantly talking about the Dan Snyder allegations, and on Sundays they don't, because on Thursday Night Football that's on Amazon,
Right.
and Bezos wants that team.
okay, so you're on the same page
Oh,
as me, because
1000%.
that's totally my theory, and that's what I was
1000%.
telling Terry about too. I was saying that, like, honestly, I feel like Jeff Bezos is kind of pressing on this because he looks at like Walmart just bought a team, for an insane amount of money. For this would be pennies in a bucket for Jeff Bezos, and it's always been his dream to own a sports franchise. And I just think it would make sense.
And the fact that Bezos basically would come in, own a team, and then also own who I think is going to be the main distributor of the games.
Yeah.
Because that's literally how Bezos built his business.
and he would
only-
get instant funding for a field.
Yeah,
It's Amazon Field. It's instead of FedEx Field, it's now Amazon Field.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean?
Because Intelcom also trying to put FedEx out of business, right?
Super off topic, because that's my specialty.
Yeah,
remember
let's do it.
when there was a baseball field called Enron Field?
Yeah, Houston.
Houston, that's what it was. That's what I was gonna ask him. Like, which franchise was it?
Yeah,
But of course, it was the dirty ass Astros, which we'll get to, I guess.
Yeah.
Fucking Astros.
To be fair, the Florida Marlins Stadium was also was almost like the Pornhub Stadium, the Miami Pornhub Stadium.
Money's money, man.
No, that was the one place where the league owners were like, nope. 2/3 majority says you're not taking that money.
This is where I wish Terry was here.
Yeah.
For obvious
Have you
reasons.
seen the Draymond Green apology video?
I didn't, because I don't really care about his apology video. I don't actually like. I've never really been a Draymond fan, and we've argued about this many times. I find him super dirty, but I do find that he's an incredible defensive
So
player.
he's not.
I know we've had this conversation.
He had a high profile dirty moment.
He's had many high profile dirty moments. He's just dirty.
Name one other than the dick punch.
He punches people in the dick all the time.
It wasn't
All
all
the
the time.
fucking time.
He'd be suspended all the time.
But more importantly, that I've listened to his pod on the Volume, and which is Colin Cowherd's
Yeah.
network, I'm a huge fan of Colin Cowherd. I listen to him all the time. I like Colin Cowherd, and I kind of support the Volume as a network. I think he's got a lot of content.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely.
But I cannot stand I cannot stand Draymond's voice on a podcast. It annoys me. I think that the punch to Jordan Poole was absolutely all about money. The fact that Jordan Poole was able to ink up.
I kind of have that feeling too.
And also the fact that Jordan Poole.
They're going to have to make a decision at the end of the season between which of those two guys to keep.
And on top of it, because Jordan Poole kind of egged him on saying, like, see you in Sacramento was like.
Yeah, he also said something about how when he was playing in college, were the girls impressed by his triple singles?
Yeah.
But
the
thing is, what I don't understand was when I saw it, I was like, oh, I remember even Alex Intern posted it, like the report even before the video came out about the fight, and I was like, oh, it's a preseason basketball fight. Like these happen all the time.
Yeah, but we never see them.
I know. So what's different is that Draymond Green is putting together a documentary a documentary about the season, and so there's a camera crew there filming the practice.
Oh, so he snitched on himself?
I think he leaked this.
Oh, okay.
Because
makes sense.
If you listen to his apology, all he's talking about is how he's going through stuff and how he made himself the victim of knocking because he hit Poole hard.
Right.
He put him out. He cradled him to the ground after knocking him out. Like that was a rainmaker. That was a rainmaker.
Sure, rainmaker. Yeah,
by Danny Jones.
I get it. It kind of makes sense now. It'd be part of the promotional thing. That being said,
Mayweather Green.
I don't know if
Vegas.
I'm not saying he planned to punch Jordan Poole, but when it happened, he's like, "How can we spin this into content?"
Right, but I don't think anybody ever wants that to be leaked, even if it's for promotional purposes. I don't think it looks good on anyone.
Or maybe it wasn't leaked purposefully.
Yeah,
but like
maybe he got a hold that someone was going to go to the press with it, so he tried to leak it out first and get ahead of the story, type of situation.
And I mean,
or maybe it's just him reacting. But like the point is, like a lot of the cameras at practice are there because of Draymond Green.
But but that's the thing too. Is like I don't know. Like Poole, it was gonna get this money all along. Wiggins was gonna get the money. Thompson, Curry.
I don't think Wiggins will get the money there.
Maybe elsewhere, but it depends. Like
I think this is Draymond's last season in.
And the rumors are that LA. But why? How would that fit? They need shooters.
But
they need shooters.
But a great defender is still important.
It is, but this is a team that needs and the Lakers are going to dish out a ton of money for him that they don't have.
Yeah, like if it's going to cost you a max, you can't do it.
It will, because Sacramento is going to offer a max.
Well, then he's going to Sacramento.
Like there's a ton of teams that are going to offer a max. So if he absolutely wants to play for the Lakers, he can. But at this point, the Lakers look like they're already going to be pretty bad this year. They may even be in.
They're going to be terrible.
They may be even in the Wembanyama.
Wembanyama. The problem is they won't be that
sweepstakes.
Bad. They won't be San Antonio bad. Is the problem.
Yeah, San Antonio's going to be horrible.
Yeah. I think they're gonna find a way to trade Westbrook by the deadline because I don't think they're gonna get a high enough draft pick. So they're gonna trade Westbrook.
New York Knicks.
They're going to trade Westbrook with their top two, the remaining 2 first-round picks to get like 2 shooters.
The Knicks are gonna fuck this up.
Oh yeah,
they're gonna go for him 100%. No, they're gonna not go for Wembanyama and trade that pick to get Westbrook or something.
Yeah, exactly. That would be amazing.
You know what I mean? It's such
but the thing is, if you trade for Westbrook, you're also getting a first-round pick.
I ordered a Obi Toppin jersey.
Why?
Because he's my favorite player.
I'm gonna order his dad's jersey.
Yeah,
from End One.
Nice.
Yeah. So
tell me,
we need to bet against the Padres, right?
Well, why? Why do we have to bet?
This is why. Eagle, cue up the video.
Okay, show me.
Really going down to yellow and brown. That's what's in. Padres on the loose. Let's go, Goose. That's what's in. Bryce gonna lose, and Manny's gonna cruise. That's what's in. Give Philly no slack and send them back. That's what's in. Philly going down to yellow and brown.
So, who thought that was a good idea?
That's a horrendous idea. And I mean, Padre fans are really bad at being baseball fans in general. They have they don't have much of a history, and their team loves to spend a ton of money on on players that don't really produce much, but they look pretty good this year. You know what? You know what I love about the Padres here, and it's stupid, but they're I love that they went back to the old school colors, the brown and the yellow.
How did you turn that video into serious baseball talk?
Yeah. Because I gotta get it out of my mind. It's horrible. Again, Padre fans are just cringy in general. I mean, I've never even met one in my life, and I see that and just it explains a lot.
Yeah, because like when I think San Diego, I never think, yo, this is gonna be the coolest music in the world. It's gonna be an awesome hype video. It's never happening, right? Like that's never that's not the personality of the city.
But it's hard to root against them after they beat the Dodgers. Like I loved that so much. I didn't want to watch the Dodgers anymore.
Yeah,
I know, but I do like watching Dodgers in general. But I kind of want to have a new championship every year in baseball. I kind of like having that parity a little bit because it's fun to see. Like I love seeing a team that just like that hasn't won that does win. And there's a couple of teams this year that serious baseball talk. By the way,
yeah.
Are you ready for this?
I'm so mad.
Your
at you
eyes
right
are
now.
like closing right now.
I'm so mad at you right now.
I don't know.
It's the C block so that we can make fun of a stupid video and move on with the show. Come on, man.
I'm into baseball. What can I tell you? I love it. I get it.
It's okay. It's a Dukecast. It's a Dukecast.
And it's tough too because they're playing against the Phillies and I'm a huge Bryce Harper fan. He's my favorite baseball player, and definitely a fun series to watch, guys. As long as it's not 18 innings.
How did this happen?
Because if it's 18 innings, I can't do it. I tried getting through that 18-inning game last with the Astros over the last weekend.
So with that,
and it's killing me, and I can't do it.
Can we get a chance to talk about the Jays, by the way, blowing an 8-1 lead?
Oh yeah, we really can. We absolutely can. It's incredible. But dude,
I swear to God, if you give him the MVP of the show,
3 games,
I'm gonna punch you in the dick,
dude. A 3-game series is tough. Like, it's hard for any team to just after 162 games, 182 games.
162 games.
We'll split the difference. 170 something games.
Sure.
And then you're just expected to win 3 games in a row. It's nuts.
It's 2 games.
And you don't even get your whole rotation in. You don't even get all your rotation in.
Correct.
You just got your 3 pitchers and bam, that's it. Yeah. And then if you win that 3-game series, then you got a 5-game series after that.
Thank you for explaining to me how playoffs work. Thank you.
I'm surprised you know how playoffs work.
He's been watching so much baseball.
I love baseball.
Who watches baseball?
I love
He's
baseball.
gambling again.
Yes.
I honestly I love baseball. It's a great sport.
Hot Sauce Bets.
Let's do it.
You. That was the segue I was trying to set up.
Do we want to start with tonight's game?
Don't get me started on the Yankees, by the way.
We gotta pay off our bets.
I was gonna say, okay, yeah. So we're a few weeks behind on this.
Yeah, definitely.
So Duke took a loss when the Bengals beat Miami 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And yeah, so
that was a Tua game, right?
that was Tua's. I thought for a moment it was gonna be Tua's final day. Forget final game, but he will be playing this week. But let's get your rant on the losing that bet because you had the Dolphins to cover against the Bengals.
I mean, in general, I was just angry about that game. In general, I hate that I was forced to watch this game. I'm not a fan of. I don't know. The Bengals bore me. I don't like their offense. I did like seeing Tua, but then Tua got destroyed to that point. Made me really angry that Tua was. That wasn't diagnosed with a concussion the previous week. But can I just tell you about the fact that Severino's pitching tonight and Altuve is at the bat right now, and I can't stand Altuve. I can't stand him, and I hate the Astros.
Not only did you not rant, you give me serious football talk.
Yeah.
Followed by serious baseball talk.
I mean, I could talk. Listen, I hated the Bengals helmet, that stupid white and black helmet. Can we stop?
They're not the zebras.
They're not the zebras. They're not the zebras. And I think one of you guys was saying that it's like an homage to a different line,
to
a different
care.
cheetah. Get
It's
out of here.
stupid. Stop it. You're
Stop
black and orange.
Stop
you
it.
look like Halloween.
Stop it.
It's just be Halloween.
Also, can we talk about the fact that teams are still wearing their ugly Color Rush jerseys? Listen, we tried Color Rush. We tried. We gave it a chance. It sucked.
Yeah.
The only one that was nice was the white Raiders one. That was like.
How is it that the NBA gets the city jerseys right and the NFL can't get the Color Rush right?
Oh, and also, did you see the NHL is releasing retro jerseys this year?
That too.
Oh, beautiful. But yeah, but I can't even remember what happened in that game. It happened like 2 weeks ago. Everybody went crazy
All
over
you had to
to
do was rant about a specific thing.
and
it's your fault that you're doing this 2 weeks late.
And we're mad at Dan Snyder, but like Joe Mixon is still running back in the league even after what did he do? He beat a woman or something?
Yeah, he beat a woman.
Yeah, so hey. Well, I guess we all did something wrong.
So
in
is
our past.
Tyreek Hill from that game.
Yeah. And Devontae Adams might go to jail, so we'll see.
I don't think he's going to jail.
Nah, he's not going to jail.
Just pay
Did
a
you
fine.
see the video of the other angle of it? The guy apparently ran into him.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
but he shoved him.
Oh, 100%.
But
like,
also,
it's not like he bumped into him and was like, yo, dude, be careful. He launched
hey,
the dude.
I'm seriously considering just running into a rich dude and just claiming
Only
damages.
in the U.S., my friend, not here.
Yeah, no,
Let's
I'll
take
go
a
to
trip.
US. I'll go to
Let's
US.
go to Vegas.
Let's go to Vegas. I'll run into who's a forward for the Las Vegas Knights, the Golden Knights. Don't know.
Max Pacioretty.
Max. Oh yeah, Patches.
Yeah, you can light him up.
Yeah, he's made of glass in general.
So for me, I bet with John factually, I said that the Dolphins would beat the Vikings because he's a Vikings fan. I'm a Dolphins fan.
Yeah.
So we
It
had
wasn't
a
prime
hot
time.
bet. What?
It wasn't prime
It
time.
wasn't prime time, so I
that
should know
was a
better. But you know
boring
what,
ass
John?
game.
Your bullshit team with your garbage mat helmets can go fuck themselves. They are terrible. Your team will eventually have to win a night because that's what playoffs are. And you know what, Kirk Cousins? He got to face the third string, then second string, who was third string for the game. Congratulations, you beat a bunch of backup quarterbacks. You beat a quarterback who you knew wasn't good enough because he used to be a Viking. And you drafted that garbage quarterback.
He got injured.
No.
He was out.
And
like,
that garbage quarterback who can't throw past 10 feet threw for 490 something yards. Your team put up 170 yards. It's like a math problem I can't solve. That Jalen Waddle fumbled, which he never does because he's a glorious player, better than Justin Jefferson. But anyway, and we took an L against your terrible Vikings. Go Skull or something. Congratulations. Go masturbate in purple. That's how you rant against John factually.
I love it. I really love it. That was a boring ass game.
It was terrible. I hated every second of it.
Teddy Bridgewater just got to retire, man, because you are putting me to sleep.
I went through so much green in that game.
Right.
It wasn't teal.
All right, and then for tonight's game, it is the Cardinals versus the Saints.
Okay,
the
cool.
MVP
I'm
for
down for
this
that.
show, I'm going to say, is Duke.
Thanks, bud.
I hate you so much.
One,
You're getting punched in
because
the dick.
he shows up covering for a whole bunch of people that are out.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's also his company, but go ahead.
Tell me all about it, man.
Two, I just really want to give him the odds
Thanks,
and not
man.
explain them and just see what he's going to pick.
You know what? That's
And I think it's in your best interest to
Fair.
not say anything.
fair.
So Duke, right
Yeah.
now the odds are Cardinals at -2.5.
Are we talking about the St. Louis Cardinals, or are we talking
Yeah,
about
St. Louis Cardinals.
The Arizona Cardinals
Nice.
are the New Orleans Saints. The Cardinals -2.5.
Right. So I see that number, and in my head, I look at it and I think to myself, go Saints, man. Saints gonna take this. They're gonna win by 7 points. How's that?
Saints are winning by 7.
Yeah, Saints by 7.
Okay.
And it's because
But wait, what's the spread?
2.5.
2.5.
Cardinals
two and a half.
4?
Cardinals -2.5.
Okay.
So he's taking like hard Saints here.
I'm taking hard. I don't even know what that means, but I'm taking hard Saints.
So you don't have to take them to win by 7. They can lose by 2.5 and you still win. You sure you want them by 7?
You know what, guys? I'm gonna take them by 7.
Right.
All right.
I guess I'll take the Cardinals +7. I'll take the points because you know what? The Saints are good, but I don't think they can beat Kyler Murray and company by 7 points. It's the return of DeAndre Hopkins. They traded for Robbie Anderson, who probably is super crazy. I like that he forced his way out of town. He didn't do it quite as crazily as AB, but that was okay.
And it was a great trade too, because now Marquise is going to be out. Hollywood's going to be out for like
6 weeks,
6 to 7 weeks.
Yeah, I don't know how that all works when Marquise Brown is back because Marquise Brown's better than Robbie Anderson.
Yeah, definitely. But it's nice to have those
But
options.
yeah, why
right?
not?
Yeah.
Why not? Let's do it. So yeah, give me the points. Give me +7 for the Cardinals.
That's so ridiculous.
It didn't work out for me, Eagle. Thank you for
I
making
knew it.
MVP.
I knew it right away. See, this is the backwards MVP.
You gave me
here.
9.5 points.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Let's
Also,
get into
can we talk about how bad Rizzo is?
Nope.
Nope. All right, let's go into
it's like, bro,
rapid fire.
Why are you hitting home runs now? You didn't do it all year. Okay, tell me.
Rapid fire. Russell Wilson spoke to media members about how he's been healing quickly from the latest injury he's encountered.
Feeling better every day. day by day. Obviously, it happened Monday night, but
smile.
I heal quick. I don't know if it's Wolverine blood or what, but feeling better every day. Day
Wow,
by day.
you're
Obviously,
so
it happened Monday
funny.
night, but I heal quick. I don't know if it's Wolverine blood or what, but
Fuck. And you have to repeat it twice. Yeah, of course you have to repeat it twice. Because you didn't get
I
enough
just played
laughs
the
the
clip
first
twice.
time. Oh, did it play twice?
Yeah, it played
I thought he was repeating it because some people repeat bad jokes sometimes. So
The cringy part is that he's referencing a comic and then also gets it wrong. So you're appealing to nobody. Like the guys who are like comic books are for nerds. You're not appealing to them.
What?
And the comic across like Wolverine heals because of the bones, not the blood.
But why is it that every time he talks, it sounds like it was prepared in advance, kind of like a Subway sandwich?
He's a robot.
Yeah,
he's a robot. Russell Wilson, robot.
That being said, his last 2 media appearances, he has not finished with "Let's Ride." So maybe he's a changed
man. The last time he said "Let's Ride," he said it while he was walking away from the mic and got roasted for it.
Yeah, and I think he's got probably a PR agent that always gives him terrible advice
And terrible jokes.
Yeah, and he's and then they're like, "Hey, you know that joke I told you to say that at any of your press conference? It's not working out. I think you should stop saying that." You know.
Yeah, and he says, "Just program me."
It's like, what's that? The nickname he had for himself, Mr. Impossible? Or
no, it's Mr. Unlimited.
And the cringiest part about that video is probably his publicist that's egging him on. She's like, "Who are you? Well, you're Mr. What?" And then he's like, "Mr. Unlimited."
But like some of the questions didn't have the answer wasn't applicable either. He's like, "So what happens when you get home late at night? You got to be unlimited." What?
Oh man, he's just so cringe.
I don't know.
Just be yourself, man.
But I think this is him. He's a robot. This is who he was created to be. I'm turning on Russell Wilson though. I'm coming on
now.
I'm coming on board with the Russ train, but I'll save my explanation for later. I think it's because I want to be the most hateable member of the podcast.
Are we going to talk about the Broncos?
No.
Or?
Yeah, there's another point.
Okay.
Next, Floppy Boy, reigning defensive player of the year. Who is this?
Marcus Smart.
Thank you. Didn't get the call he expected when Marcus Smart got shook by James Harden, who then looked shook in return. Play.
Hook from a point guard. Harden just Vonleh secures. Handed jump hook from a point guard. Harden just grazes the rim and
So for those listening, Harden gives a shimmy to Marcus Smart.
Yeah.
Who throws himself to the baseline from the 3-point line.
He's the biggest flopper in the NBA.
Hey, it got him a defensive player of the year. But
flopping.
Yeah, it did.
Also, Giannis should have won that year, but anyway, that's a topic for another time.
Yeah, it could have been Giannis. It could have been. Anyway, not the point.
Or even Draymond, too.
Draymond would have been up there. Also, I think Bam could have been up there, too.
Even Gobert was pretty good that year.
Gobert's not.
I just
fake good defense. They got to take him out in the fourth quarter of close games. So.
Yeah, he's an awful shooter.
But anyway, the thing. Oh, he's also an awful perimeter defender.
100%.
But the thing is, like, I like this because you see him flying from the 3-point line, and it's like when people like take a video of someone falling and like it's superimposed on top of other videos, like falling through the dance floor somewhere and falling like into the ocean, and that's the first thing I thought of. And then I love how Harden bricks the shot because obviously something that stupid. How are you going to focus on shooting? How are you going to focus on shooting? Like, a guy threw himself like 30 feet.
Yeah, no, but he makes those shots all the time, so it's good. But,
not when a guy comically throws himself on the ground.
But he did not happen like last year or the year before. Didn't the exact same play. But he did break it. He did completely break it.
Yeah, he did break it. I think he was just shocked. He was just shocked at how ridiculous.
How
it is.
far
they made no physical contact.
All right, next. Can we get volunteers? After their somewhat stunning win over Alabama in college football, the Tennessee football fans have, actually tore down the uprights.
I love this story.
So the school had to put out this tweet saying, "Y'all remember how we tore the goalpost down, hauled them out to Nyland, and dumped them in the Tennessee River? Yeah, that was awesome. Anywho, turns out that in order to play next week's game, we need goalposts on our field. Could y'all help us out with a link to effectively what is a Kickstarter campaign?"
Like they made like $2 million from that game just in parking alone. They made like $20,000. That's probably enough to pay for a goalpost guy,
especially when you're not paying your employees.
Can I just say, I never really understood the whole taking down of a goalpost thing. Maybe I'm not American, but It's just
It's not maybe an American.
It's kind of like keeping the winning game ball, right? Like the uprights signify the victory in the whole thing.
A giant fucking steel piece. Like I don't know. It's so random.
Why throw it in the river? That seems just shitty.
They threw it in the river?
Yeah, they threw it in the river.
Oh, that's a weird.
Couldn't
place
you just get it back from the river?
Yeah, just like I've caught a whole bunch of like boots and random garbage at the bottom of the lake. Why can't you just fish it out of the river?
Because
I'll do it for you. I'll help out.
Because you probably just can't. You can't just like go and grab it. You probably need a giant machine to do it.
I found it such a weird. Like I found that cringier than Russell Wilson begging for money when you make hundreds of millions of dollars in tuition, in sales, in ticket sales, in TV money. And then on top of that, again, you're still not paying your employees, the athletes, the players for whom the goalpost got removed.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely crazy. A rich-ass university begs for money is just the craziest thing to me.
Yeah,
I don't know how that happens.
All right, Heavenly Creatures. The Saints have commenced a run against teams named after birds. So far, any of the aviary teams are now 0-2 against the Saints. This week, if Duke gets his way, they'll be 3-0.
By 7, baby.
I wish I would have seen this graphic before.
By 7, baby.
It's true, actually. This could still be true, Eagle, and I still win the bet.
Also true, actually, yeah. Because Saints plus 7.
9.5 points. But yeah, so the thing about this, though, dude, is I think this is proving your favorite conspiracy theory.
Yeah. Birds aren't real.
Birds aren't real. They're not real in life, and they're not real in the NFL.
They're super fake. I saw one that
none of those bird teams, none of them are competitors are contenders. They're all fake. There's
this bird near my house that got run over a while back, and it's like flat like a puck. Mm-hmm. No blood, nothing. Just literally a flat, dead bird. No guts, no blood. And I think to myself, fake.
You know what you could have seen? You could have seen microchips in it if the government operatives didn't take it out.
It's a good point. I should have. I will inspect when I go home.
You should, absolutely.
Should I wear gloves?
You should take a 2-month-old bird, a bird that's been dead for 2 months, and dig inside it with your bare hands.
Well, if I wear gloves, then I'm saying that they're real, and they're not.
But the problem is, you need to wear gloves because otherwise you might get a computer virus.
Also, the government will see my fingerprints. Yeah, they can track me back.
You should boil off your fingerprints first.
Nice,
and maybe shave an eyebrow for good measure.
I want to what do you call that, Eags? When you reverse engineer something.
Reverse engineering.
There you
go. That's all it's called.
Reverse engineer that motherfucking bird, man.
All right, next, let Wolverine cook. How dangerous are your sandwich choices?
Show me.
Russell Wilson would like to know.
Oh, God
Here
damn
are all
it.
the
Again?
dangerous ways to Dangerwich. I call this one...
Like, that's not funny. It's not funny. There's no comedy
I call this
to it.
one the blind.
And you got memed so much for that one.
Big bite.
Yeah, wow. That's a good one. Drop a low, okay?
Left-handed. Wielding. The upside down.
Here comes the airplane.
Oh, God. It's when he does the voices, man.
And the most dangerous of all. The rapper.
So,
Here are all the dangerous ways.
This did it for me. I'm in on Russell Wilson. He's in on the joke. He's in on the joke. He has to be. He has to be. He's wearing a leather jacket. It's not 1996.
Right.
He's wearing biker gloves. He's wearing sunglasses inside.
He's eating a Subway sandwich, for Christ's sake.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Okay,
I wanted
relax.
to Uber Eats a Dangerwich, and it's not available in Canada. I'm so mad. I want to put more money in Russell Wilson's pocket because the dude is a marketing genius. It's working because we're not talking about him. He's in on the joke. He has to be. He has to be. He has to be. He has to be.
It's not working because no one's going to go to Subway and get that stupid rat.
Yo, I legit opened Uber Eats and tried to order it from another country.
So you don't have it in Canada?
Well, the shipping was very high.
I feel like he filmed all of these videos, like these commercials, for sure he filmed before the season. And I think in his head, he's like, I'm going to have such a great season. It's going to be part of his great marketing plan. And now he sucks. And like, shitty. And I'm sure when he come out, he's like, fuck, it's coming out this week? No, can we stop it? Can I just get a win first before you put out this video?
They've been winning games, though, or some of them. Didn't they have 2 wins? Yeah, they got 2 wins.
Not enough.
Yeah, they're not good wins.
They're shit wins. What's a win, Dano?
And lastly, or are you just happy to see me? A man was charged with trying to smuggle pythons through the U.S. border while hiding them in his pants.
That's amazing.
I want to know, does Gawker know
Yeah.
that Hulk Hogan's pythons were in some dude's pants?
Nice. Good one. Good dated joke, too.
Yeah. Went out of my way to find something super dated. It's super weird, man. Like,
Well, yeah. Is this in Florida?
no, they tried crossing in
US.
Buffalo.
Right.
He tried crossing in Buffalo. Why? Why? Okay, so the dude wanted, I guess, a pet snake.
Yeah.
But you can have pet snakes in Canada.
Yeah.
I guess you can't have a python.
Yeah.
But why do you want a python? Why specifically python?
I mean, pythons are fucking cool, man. It's like bike. You're not gonna go and get some
BMX.
shit bike.
You
You want
got
yourself a
BMX.
good one.
Yeah.
You know.
I have a mountain bike. It's pretty cool.
Right. Good story.
Yeah. Thanks for joining me, Duke.
Can I bitch about Subway quick?
No, please tell me about baseball.
Oh yeah. So I think that
Thank you, Eagle, for muting Duke. No, please continue, Duke. Thank you, Duke, for joining us during the show. Thank you, Eagle, for all the production you've done.
This
I
is
want
the
to
best
thank
part so far, by the
everyone.
way.
I want to thank everyone for tuning in, for liking, for subscribing, for rating and reviewing. But most of all, I want to thank you all for letting me be myself. You've been listening to Hot Sauce Sports.
Good job, dude.